Alright. So I just started playing Naraka BladePoint about a month ago. And I'm not a heavy PC player by any means. And I'm more of a console player. So I decided, since I didn't see anywhere for controller specs on YouTube, that I would be the one to deliver. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to deliver. And we're gonna show the computer specs that I use. I'm currently using a Xbox Series X controller, whether it's an Elite controller or a regular Series X controller. Right now in my hand, I have an Xbox Series X controller. So I'm gonna head and press start, go into the settings again. I currently game on a BenQ LX low, one of the tournament style computers. I have a 1660X graphics card, a Ryzen 5 CPU. So yeah, we're gonna check out my settings and hopefully explain some of the settings that I use. Now my monitor only allows 1920 by 1080, so of course, I mean, there's no real 4K I have a 4K monitor, but there's none that allow for 120 refresh rate. So my monitor is 1920 by 1080, and it gets up to 240 frames per second if I operate everything correctly. In this game, as y'all can see, it maxes out at 60 frame rate, but sometimes in the game I get a little bit more just because of these settings. So I'm gonna start out with the basic monitor settings that I use. So DirectX 11, I can't change that. My rendering scale is always gonna be at 75. I don't want it too high, but I don't want it too low that it'll affect the frames per second. Of course, I play on full screen. I don't want to play on borderless windows. No, I play on full screen. I want to see everything. If I'm going to be fighting, I want to see everything. Now, with my monitor, I can adjust it. With the monitor I'm currently on, I can adjust it to be almost 4K, but my gaming monitor is 1920 by 1080, so I don't really go further. 60 frames per second. I don't use a filter, even though I feel like Tender and Shimmering Waters seem to feel better on my eyes, like if I'm playing this too long. Wild Grass is another one that I like, but I tend to not use a filter because it seems like the frames drop more often when you use said filter. HDR display, I turn that off. It's allowed on my, it's weird, on my other monitor you can have it on, but I usually leave it off. For some reason I can have it on with my BenQ, but not this AOC monitor. Brightness, I leave the brightness where it is, so that's where my brightness is. VSync I usually leave on because I noticed when I took it off, my screen was kind of looking kind of shaky, and we don't want a shaky screen. Anti-aliasing algorithm, whatever. I turn that off. Motion blur, I always turn this off. I don't know, it just seems like it looks better. If you have the option to turn DLSR on, which I do not because of my graphics card is not super nice yet, which I'm working on, but y'all know it costs an arm and a leg, arm, head. So yeah, I don't have that. But if you have that option, please turn this option on. Graphic card enhancement, I have this option on. It helps with, you know, these more or lesser graphics cards, as far for me at least. It helps keep everything in line. Reflex, I have this on reflex because I honestly didn't need reflex boost, but reflex is fine, or you can turn it off. I didn't see a difference between reflex and reflex boost, so I didn't want it to, you know, take up something that it doesn't need. This NVIDIA highlights, I turn that off. I don't like when games take their own screenshots and own video clips that they generated. If I want to, you know, if I want to clip that, I'm gonna clip that on my own dime or on my own time. Quick set graphics, I put mine custom. Now I tried to reduce as much of the unnecessary stuff that I don't care about, like the modeling accuracy. I could care less. If I'm fighting, I don't care about the textures around me. I'm throwing hands right now. That's all I'm caring about. This tessellation or whatever, don't even know what it is. It says increasing this setting to make sure the surfaces and edges of rendered objects smoother and finer. Once again, I don't care about the surface and edges. I don't care if they're smoother and finer because I'm fighting. I'm only here to throw hands, swords, bows and arrows and flat cannons. I'm not here to do all that sightseeing. I've kept the effects on medium just so I can see certain stuff, because when you have effects like explosions and other stuff like that, it pulls a lot of graphics card and CPU load, and it can fry out your system. So I left it on medium. I don't go to high and I don't go to low. I kind of like it on medium because it doesn't drop my frames too much if there's an explosion around. Texture is another thing that you could go to low on. I just had it on medium, just testing everything out. So I went from low to medium to high. I found medium didn't drop my graphics or my frames per second, so I was cool with that. This shadows is on medium just so I can be able to see, because you can see other players' shadows at times. So I like to be able to catch everything. Volumetric lighting, I kept that on medium as well, so when the circle's coming in, you can tell the difference from being in a circle, outside the circle. When you running by a tree, you can see the shadows and you're able to better see the playing field as compared to being on high or low. I left this on low because I don't care about the clouds. We do not care. We don't care about the clouds, okay? Ambient oscillation, I left that on low. I don't care about the grass. There's no difference in these pictures other than you being able to see a little bit more grass in the higher one. I don't care. Screen space reflections, I didn't care about this too much, but I did notice when we turned the river in the middle of the map into the blood river is what we called it, when me and my teammate killed 4 and 4 people apiece. I did notice that it helps while fighting on the water. I was able to see people running up behind me if I'm paying attention enough. Anti-aliasing, I left this on medium as well. I don't see a difference. So you could go with low and it won't change. I really don't see a difference. It's not that much of a difference. Post-processing, I left this on medium. So basically it makes it where your map comes up faster, you know, because like my partner, it took him forever to get into the games, and you know, having a fully downloaded the map, you will notice a clear increase in, so you don't have to download the map as you're going, so you don't have to worry about the frame drops. I think medium works perfect for this. Audio, I have everything on 75. Like main menu, background music, I don't care about. I don't care about in-game background music. I leave that low because it does change as the circles moving and stuff like that. Combat, I leave that low as well, so I know if I'm about to get into a fight or somebody rolling up on your boy, you gotta spread these hands, bless people. Character, I like hearing my characters talk junk, so I leave that up. But I mean, I can always reduce that down to 75. Another one I would reduce down to probably 75 is like combat, so you can actually hear the other stuff that's going on. Bane breath sound effects, I leave that up, but I could also reduce that down to 75. The UI, I just leave that up. I just left that up because I wanna, you know, get the so I know when I clickety a button that I clickety that button. Voices, this is going for people talking in the game. I left the character speech up and then other people's voices while I'm in combat so I can hear my teammates. I usually use 5.1 sound. I have an Astro A50's wireless headset, so that's why it's on headphones currently. Whenever I play, I turn my open mic off because typically I don't use it. I'm always in Discord, so I don't want to, I don't know, I never checked if the game had in-game voice chat, so I don't want to be giving away my location or letting people know I'm sneaking up on them, or them hearing me telling my teammates we about to put some fire on their ass. Hero's voice, you can turn that off if you like. Of course I speak English, so you know I got English going on. Grapple hook aiming, okay, that's fine. All of this stuff I left as is. You can always adjust it so you know what you're doing with each. I left all of this as is so you can adjust it as you see fit. And then the moment we all been waiting for. Now I changed the crosshair to red. I usually like to have it on purple because it helps me see better. Normal crosshair I also put on purple. I was testing the colors. I always think purple is just better for me to see in most terrains. And then I left all of this. Yeah, so these, like, when you upgrade it, it tells you how many of each thing you can hold in each spot. So it's like you can upgrade it around so you know when you pick up weapon chests, they stack 2, they stack 1, or if you got armor powder, they stack 3. You can adjust these so they all max out to 10. When you get another one, these all max out to 12. So you can tell your bag what you want the most of. I think that's very beneficial, and I like the default settings for this, so I left it as is. Social, this is again in-game chat text. I left all of that on. All the season stats, I left all of that on. Now let's go back. Button layout. So when the game first came out, they only had default. So I used to play on default. As far as controller goes, the only one they had. But when after this, it was 2 updates ago, around when I started playing in May, it was maybe 2 weeks after, just before the first season ended, or the second season ended, they added in Warrior. Warrior fits best for me. I would say this is 100%, 1000% the best controller settings for moi and for everybody else, because it plays just like your regular shooters. When you're using a bow and arrow, it plays well with your grapples, your skills, your grapple hooks. You know how to aim your grapple hooks and this, that, and the third. Because the grapple hooks, instead of being LT, every time you use it, you have to hold RB and then hit LT. So or RB or LT, then hit RB to pull out the grapple hook so you can aim it, as compared to grapple hooks being RT. So the vertical strikes, I like where it is. Horizontal strikes, I like where it is RT and LT. So you know when you want to do a horizontal strike, you go with LT. If you want to do a vertical strike, you go with RT. This view sensitivity, I left it at 55. So far it's been working for me. The vertical boost I left at 5 because I found out if I go any higher than that, it seems to boost it way too far. If I go any lower than that, it's too slow. So 5 worked out for me. The horizontal turning left and right, 30 was fine with me, as well as, you know, the turning boost. My dead zones are down because, I mean, on the controller I don't really see any problems with my dead zones. My outer threshold is 2% for both of my controllers. They, you know, it works well for that. Turning ramp up time, I put it at 0.5, so it's halfway accelerated speed. Attack from stick direction, that's just an assisted part of it. You can assist where you attack from. Camera direction, it just depends. So I like it from stick direction, so I know which, like, wherever I'm aiming, that's where I know where the attack is going. Auto lock I turned off. I rather lock on my people by myself, because when you do auto lock, sometimes it jumps from people to people to people to people. Aim assist, I have it as weak because the aim assist sometimes is too strong, or it doesn't allow you to turn fast enough because this game isn't a shooter. So the aim assist, for me, it doesn't work too well. Weak works well when I'm fighting, so it's not overbearing, so I get to aim and time, or and turn my hits to where I need them to be. I didn't put on reverse X or Y axis. I took controller vibration off, but I guess I could leave it on just in case I get attacked by something or run into something. But typically you would want your controller vibration off. And that's really, for any controller player, is the best controller settings you can have. Then you can always come in here and replace and change how you want each move after you set it up. But I believe Warrior is gonna be the best fit for most controller players, and that's just the honest truth. So I want you to like, share, and subscribe if you like what you just seen. And I want you to also tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend about Beanz Worldwide, because we taking this worldwide. Deuces. Thank y'all for watching. We outro.